All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Sports Podcast. And for the final part of the show, we are now going to do our AFC South Power Rankings post free agency. Also, while I was going to break, General was talking about the center for the Chargers. He says, I just don't like Bozeman, and I get center is one of the hardest roles out there, but being ranked 16 or bottom 16 as center is not good. I was not aware of the ranking of the Chargers center. So, yeah, they could potentially, that could be a position they potentially address. So, we'll see what happens there. But let's talk about the AFC South now, shall we? So, when it comes to these rankings, I mean, it's a little bit easier to kind of rank them, I guess. Not a lot of major moves, at least looking at them right now. Yeah, not a ton of major moves from these teams, but let's kind of let's get into it. So right now, I'd probably still rank the Titans last. They have made moves, handful of moves, like I said. A lot of that has to do with the quarterback position. Now things are going to change after the draft because most likely they're going to take Cam Ward, unless, again, they shock us. But this team was not good last year. Still got a good defense. I mean, they signed a former Seahawks defensive lineman, Draymond Jones. They brought back Sebastian Joseph Day for the defensive line. They brought in Cody Barton over from the from the Broncos, which I think was a good move. They signed Van Jefferson, Kevin Zeitler for the offense. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't think they're going to be, even with the rookie quarterback, I don't think they're going to win a ton of games. I think, Cam Ward, there's going to be some growing pains if, that ends up being the guy. I mean, if it's Will Levis again, I mean, we saw how Will Levis played last year. He was not good. So, I mean, you still got Calvin Ridley there, Tony Pollard, who ran for over 1,000 yards last year. Oh, yeah, they also signed Dan Moore Jr. from the Steelers, which a lot of people are not excited about that contract. 4 years, $82 million. But, yeah, right now, they're a team that needs a quarterback. And I think until they figure that out, I'm still going to put them last. I'm going to put the Jaguars at 3. The Jaguars, what they did this offseason, they... Actually, do I have the moves that they... Well, they let go of Christian Kirk. I know that. He's now with the Texans, and we'll talk about the Texans in a little bit. But the Jaguars, well, they did let go of Evan Ingram as well. Obviously, new head coach now with Liam Cohen, which I think the offense will show improvement, right, with Liam Cohen. Liam Cohen did very well with Baker Mayfield, so hopefully he does well with Trevor Lawrence. For the Jaguars, they signed Jordan Lewis, who was with the Cowboys. They signed Eric Murray. They signed a couple of offensive linemen. They brought in De'Ami Brown, Hunter Long they signed, Johnny Munt, a couple of tight ends there, a couple of tackles. So not a lot of major moves for the Jags. This roster has a lot of work to do, too. This draft is going to be huge. I'm curious to see what they do with their first pick. Now, you got guys you could build around. Brian Thomas Jr., you got the defensive line with Josh Hines-Allen, Trevor Lawrence. There are pieces in place there. But this roster, I mean, they really need to... It needs a jolt. And General in the chat says Jacksonville isn't a real place. He also says... I didn't even see this. Don't diss Will Levis, Mayo man. Oh, man. The amount of times I saw that commercial last year... It made me lose my my liking for Mayo on my sandwiches, because I drafted him as my third quarterback in my 2-quarterback league, taking a chance on him, thought he could maybe be decent, and he was not decent. He wasn't good. He was not good last year, and he was a meme like every single week. Every week, something new happened with him. But yeah, back to Jacksonville. They need to have a good draft, and we'll see what they do. And then maybe if I like how they did, maybe I'll rank them higher when we do. If I do a post draft ranking of all the teams. But yeah, nothing major from the Jaguars, but I'm gonna put them ahead of the Titans. 2, I have the Colts. I like the additions to the secondary. They added Charvarius Ward and Cameron Bynum. The defense, again, that's another defense that needs improvement. On the offensive side, they didn't really add a ton. Khalil Herbert they added to back up Jonathan Taylor. Their quarterback position, we'll see. They bring in Daniel Jones. I think you will see Daniel Jones at some point in the 2025 season, which would not be good for Anthony Richardson. And I thought Anthony Richardson, and I've said this, I thought Anthony Richardson played well, at times after he got benched. When he came back in, he looked like a different player. So maybe this upcoming year, with the pressure of them bringing in Daniel Jones, he goes out there and he has a very good year. Because, we see what he could do when, he throws the ball 60 yards down the field. It's exciting, but he struggles with the little things. And the talent is there. It's just he's got to put it together, and he kind of failed to do that last year. And that was kind of his rookie year, because he really didn't play his rookie year because he got hurt. But, yeah, the Colts, look, they've hovered around 500 the last 2 years. 9-8 the previous year with Gardner Minshew. Last year they were 8-9. So, I'm going to put them at 2. And then I got the Texans at 1. The Texans did bring in Christian Kirk. He's kind of the Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell replacement because we're probably not going to see Tank Dell, unfortunately. They actually brought over Justin Watson from the Chiefs. They brought in Braxton Berrios as well to add to that receiver room. They signed Cam Robinson to replace Laremy Tunsil. Still don't understand that trade. They brought in Laken Tomlinson for the offensive line. Offensive line, I think, is a position the Texans should address in this draft because that was a weakness of the team last year. I think at some point maybe you'll see them take a receiver. Maybe later. Defensively, look, I think they have one of the better defenses in the league. So they can only enhance it. I think there's a couple of areas that they can address. Like I said, the offensive line, you could add another playmaker. I think they're good on the defensive line. Maybe you add somebody to the secondary. Linebackers maybe. But Texans are in a good spot. They're going to be one of the better teams in the AFC. They're not going to be up there with Baltimore and Kansas City. Because they lost to those teams last year. Well, again, next year's a new year. But Baltimore destroyed them on Christmas, man. Ugh. That was not how. I was hoping for better games on Christmas. I really was, but we didn't get that. But yeah, no, they need C.J. Stroud to step up next year, get better protection, look like the rookie year C.J. Stroud and not the sophomore C.J. Stroud. But Stroud's the guy, and they dealt with a lot last year with the injuries to their receiving core. But yeah, I can see that that's a sensitive topic for you, Genwell. I apologize for that, for being a Chargers fan. It is a sensitive topic. But hey, they lost in the following round to the Chiefs, another team that you probably don't like. But yeah, the Texans, to me, that's the team to beat. So, I got them at 1. So I got the Titans at 4, Jaguars 3, Colts 2, Texans 1. That's where I'm at right now. Genwell also said before that, Colts last year also overcomplicate things like Bears with Caleb. Yeah, I think now Caleb with better coaching, he's gonna look like a different quarterback. And listen, I think Shane Steichen is a good coach. I mean, look at what they did with Gardner Minshew. They went 9-8. They just missed the playoffs, just missed it by losing to the Texans. And they finished 8-9 last year, so hopefully they turn it around. He says it'll be interesting after sacking or letting go of their offensive coordinator. Yeah, we'll see. We will see. But that is pretty much it for the show today. Again, let me know what you guys think about the AFC post rankings or AFC South post free agency rankings. So tomorrow we will cover the AFC West. So Jen, make sure to tune in tomorrow and see where I rank the Chargers. But I appreciate the comments today from you. Again, tune in tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We're on every Monday through Friday. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. Make sure to check out all the other shows as well that go on throughout the day. Get their other perspectives on things. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to both YouTube channels as well. Also, if you can't watch us, if you missed the show, there's no problem. You could go to wherever you get your podcast. You can look us up on Spotify, Apple Music, etc., and you will be able to listen to us on the go. If you're cooking a meal, if you're getting ready to watch the draft, and you're making some wings. I don't know. Do we do that like we do with the Super Bowl? Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course we do. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there. I think when I watched the draft at my friend's house last year, I think he ordered Wingstop. I think I might be wrong though, but. Yeah, so appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure to check out all the other shows. We'll be back again tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And until then, I'm Kenneth Grunfelder signing off from the GSMC Sports Podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Have a good day, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Take care.